of animals, the field comes alive. Carabaos plow, chickens scratch, cows and goats roam. A quiet reminder of the living partnership between man and nature that sustains the land's rich agricultural heritage. As the sun reaches its height, the fruits of their labor ripen under its warmth, glowing with promise. Harvest time arrives like a celebration, with baskets gathered and goods exchanged in the market square, each crop brimming with nature's gifts.
Madamo mga historya nga ang banwag tawag nga mo siya. Magungko ka namati kay amon ibabati, amon ipakilala paagi sa singa ang bahanon mo siya ginapabugal kami mga musya.
Once again, there you have it, everyone. Performances from the different cities and municipalities of Negros Occidental. We have the Hinugtanan Festival in Moises Padilla, the Tinabuhay Festival in Murcia, and the Calicalian Festival in Don Salvador Benedicto, which shows us that Negros is not only rich in its soil, but also rich in culture. At this point, we will continue to hear messages from those leaders who share in our vision. Let us all welcome the Director General for the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, also known as TESDA. Let's give it up for Secretary Jose Francisco Kiko Benitez.
I'd first, of course, like to greet Secretary Frasco. Thank you very much, not only for being here, but for making much of this possible. The two other congressmen of Bacolod and the 3rd District, Congressman Albi Benitez and Congressman Javi Benitez. Governor Lacson, Mayor Greg Desataya, I think everybody will be saying happy birthday. Congratulations on the biggest celebration of your birthday that I can think of, Terra Madre Asia and Pacific. No? To the leaders and members of the slow food community across Negros Island and the slow food movement in the Philippines, maayong aga sa inyong tanan. To our friends and advocates joining us from across Asia, the Pacific, and around the world, Again, welcome to Bacolod and welcome to Negros. First and foremost, congratulations to the province of Negros Occidental, to the city of Bacolod, and to the entire slow food movement in making this truly historic celebration possible. This is, after all, the first ever Terra Madre Asia and the Pacific right here in Negros. This alone sends a powerful message. Kita ng Negrosanon are no longer just participants. We are stepping up, we are taking the lead in food and gastronomy. Negros has been and is ready to prove that good, clean, and fair food is not an abstract idea. It is a living system that communities can sustain, protect, and govern themselves. After all, already been mentioned perhaps, but not directly, we need to be honest about some reality. Across the world, climate change has been hitting food systems hard. And if we continue with business as usual, a 3 degrees Celsius rise by 2100 is not just likely, it is inevitable. And the consequences for our children and our grandchildren will be catastrophic. This is why gatherings like Terra Madre matter. Because everything starts with agriculture. And agriculture is both a casualty and a cause of climate change. It contributes nearly 30% of global greenhouse gas emissions, driven primarily by heavy fertilizer use, pesticide dependence, and inefficient land practices. So the question is, what should we do? For 200 to 300 years, the Industrial Revolution has reshaped how the world produces food. Faster, cheaper, but also more standardized. But the same efficiency came with hidden costs. Degraded ecosystem, weakened soil, unhealthy food cultures, and perhaps most painful and only now being noticed, the loss of traditional knowledge that once kept our food systems resilient. We have inherited the gains of technology, but also its damages. And so we need a new kind of revolution, a green economic transformation that blends modern innovation with traditional ecological wisdom. One that respects the natural flows, the cycles of the soil, the water cycles, and the biodiversity that our ancestors depended upon. And here in Negros, we feel these pressures every day. Just this week, 1.2 billion pesos was lost in the sugar industry because of the Typhoon Tino and heavy rains. Climate change is moving fast, and poor governance, corruption, and weak support systems only make it worse. Agriculture remains the backbone of Negros. But most of our planters are small farmers, agrarian reform beneficiaries. Many cannot compete with the cheaper imports, with too many farms remaining underproductive because government support, understandably, has been insufficient. On top of that, rapid urbanization continues to convert valuable agricultural land to residential estates, pushing rural communities to the edge. This is why the slow food movement matters. Because sometimes the solution is not the fanciest tractor or the latest hybrid seedling, but a return to agroecological principles, to farming that works with nature, not against it. Farming that saves water, fertilizer, saves energy. Farming that restores soil health, protects biodiversity, and diversifies harvests instead of locking farmers perhaps into a single crop. And we learned this lesson again during the pandemic, when international and global supply chains broke down, when food couldn't move because people couldn't move. Families and communities that grow food, even in small gardens on pots, became more resilient. Food security is important, but perhaps we should move towards food sovereignty, the ability of communities to control and sustain their own foodways, their own food systems, is even more powerful. And this, I believe, is the heart and soul of slow food. It connects farmers and consumers. It restores traditional recipes, revitalizes and tags heirloom ingredients, and heals ecosystems. And here in Negros, led by champions like Rina Gamboa and Chinchin Uy, the movement is proving that sustainable, organic, community-rooted food systems are not a dream for the future, they are already happening. Ako subong ara na sa TESDA, hindi na ako congressman sa 3rd District. But please know that I will continue to support the slow food movement through the work that we do, especially through our agriculture and community-based training that helps our farmers. So to the entire slow food community of Negros Occidental, congratulations, salamat, kag padayon. You are building not just a food movement, but a future where Negros leads the agro-ecological revolution that the Philippines needs. Tanan ini posible basta magbuliglay, magtulong-tulong. Kay parehas man sang moto namon subong sa TESDA, basta sama-sama sa TESDA, kayang-kaya. Mayong aga, kag salamat sa inyo tanan.
Once again, thank you so much, Secretary Kiko Benitez.
Allow me to dispense with the formality of greeting everybody because it has been actually said several times already. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Terra Madre to your new home in Asia Pacific. This would be a welcome to the city of Bacolod. But before I forget, I'd like to greet, of course, our city mayor, Mayor Greg, a very happy birthday, together with former councilor Cindy Rojas, who is celebrating their birthday today, and they have made it a point to come here instead of celebrating their birthday. So thank you for coming. Today, we are making history. This is the first ever Terra Madre event in the entire Asia Pacific. And it is happening right here in Bacolod City. The City of Smiles is so happy today, even our weighing scales are so nervous. Kulbaan gid sila because after this event, sigurado gid ko everybody will be gaining a few pounds. We proudly welcome delegates from across the region, and I promise you, Bacolod will feed you well. Maybe too well, that is both a charm and a challenge. In Bacolod, we don't believe in light snacks. Our snacks have their own snacks. So sometimes we eat more than 3 times a day. Let me say this clearly. Slow food could not have chosen a better home because in Bacolod, we just don't eat. We celebrate, we savor, we make time. Other countries call it mindful gastronomy. Here, we simply call it lunch, or maybe dinner, or maybe merienda. But beyond the humor, please allow me to emphasize this. Slow food carries a message that matters now more than ever. Before I go further, let me share something important. This journey of holding slow food or Terra Madre here did not happen overnight. It was a conscious, deliberate decision to make Bacolod a recognized food destination. Our city may not have white sand beaches or towering mountain ranges, but we do have is exceptional food. Food that is honest, soulful, and unforgettable, which is why Bacolod will be the next food destination hub. And this is timely. Across the world, food tourism is growing as travelers search not just for places to visit, but flavors to experience. Bacolod recognized that early, and we emphasize it with purpose, passion, and pride. We live in a world that keeps getting faster. Everything is an instant. Everything is rushed. Even our problems feel like they are moving at 5G speed. And that is exactly why slow food is important. Because the faster the world spins, the more we need to nourish our soul. Slow food calls us back to the essentials. Quality over quantity. Process over shortcuts. Nourishment over convenience. Because when we forget these consequences are real. When we eat without thinking, we harm our bodies instead of healing them. When we farm without caring for our land, we destroy the very soil that feeds us. And when we chase speed for the sake of speed, we lose purpose, balance, and sometimes even our temper before breakfast. Slow food brings us back. It grounds us. It reminds us that good food is not just what appears on the plate, but how it was grown, who grew it, and what story it carries. That is why we honor the farmers, the true heroes of this event, producers, artisans, and cooks, the people who pour time, talent, and heart into every ingredient. Without them, the world would be left with fast food every day. And frankly, that should be classified as a human rights violation. Slow food is not only about taste, it's about sustainability. It's about thinking long term, respecting culture, protecting our land, and caring for the environment. In short, it is everything opposite of the average politician's attention span. But here in Bacolod, we understand. We believe that food must be good for the body, good for the soul, and good for the planet. And so, as we mark this historic first ever Terra Madre Asia Pacific, let us do what Bacolodnons do best. Smile, eat well, support local, and protect the earth that sustains us. If we can lead Asia Pacific in food sustainability, imagine what else we can inspire. Maybe how to live slower, happier, more grateful lives. At the very least, we can teach the world to cook better. Welcome to Bacolod, Terra Madre, where the food is slow, smiles are sweet, and the people are unforgettable. Thank you and enjoy your stay slowly.
Madamong salamat, Congressman Albi Benitez. We would like to...
Good morning, everyone. Ciao. It's such a pleasure to be here today. And you know, I'm very happy that afterwards, at the end of this conference, our great new president, for me, it will remain always new, but Eddie Mucibi will give a more political speech about our vision, about the future. So today, I consider myself the old guy. You know, I was already around when we started the first Terra Madre in Torino, 2004, and even before. And today I'm so happy because if I think to, you know, when we started the conversation to arrive to Terra Madre Asia Pacific, now more than 2 years ago, I think that thanks to all of you, thanks to all the work that has been done, thanks to all the people I met in these 2 years, now I feel younger. Because I feel the same energy, I feel the same vibes, I feel the same desire to contribute to the change. I feel the same vision and hope for the future that I used to feel more than 20 years ago in Italy. So the first message to all of you, to all the staff and the volunteers that has worked so hard to put everything in place is a big, big thank you and congratulations. Second, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all our supporters and donors, and I hope that you will allow me to call you and to consider my friends. We started 2 years ago in talking about this opportunity. You trusted us, starting from the Secretary of Tourism, if I can call you Christina, and Albi, and Javi, and the Governor, and all friends.
Innovators, chefs, cooks, farmers from all over the world, bound by a common mission. Our love for the environment, our desire to have a more meaningful engagement, and of course, the aspiration to ensure that our food systems can last for generations to come. Therefore, I thank and congratulate Slow Food International, led by Director General Paolo De Croci, and as well as President Edward Mukibi and the rest of the Slow Food International organization. Bacolod City has convened delegates from over 20 countries as well as from all over the Philippines, all united by our shared mission to nurture sustainable, inclusive, and community-related food systems. For the Department of Tourism, this gathering is both a milestone and a call to action. From the United Nations Tourism Regional Gastronomy Forum that we hosted in 2024, to the arrival of the Michelin Guide, recognizing our world-class chefs as well as restaurants and eateries, to this first ever hosting of Terra Madre Asia and the Pacific, and to the forthcoming Philippine hosting of the United Nations World Gastronomy Forum in 2026, the Department of Tourism, with its partners from the public and the private sector, is positioning the Philippines as Asia's rising culinary capital. Through these efforts, we do more than celebrate cuisine. We create opportunities for our communities, we empower our local producers, and ensure that tourism generates tangible benefits for our people as well as sustains our proud heritage. A cornerstone of our participation is the Slow Food Travel Pavilion, curated by the Department of Tourism to showcase immersive, community-based culinary experiences from provinces across the country. Visitors can journey to Pasil in the Cordilleras, Manila in the NCR, Cavite in Calabarzon, Cebu in Central Visayas, or Bengawan Capiz and Boracay in Western Visayas, and of course the offerings of Negros Occidental. Each of these tells a story of local farmers tending the land, of fisherfolk preserving our traditional practices, of artisans and chefs transforming ingredients into expressions of culture. These experiences, we hope, will not only allow travelers to taste our food, but also to connect them directly with the people and the places that make it possible. Another highlight, of course, are the regional representations led by our regional offices of the DOT. We are most grateful that they have flown in from all over the country to participate. We also have the community kitchen featuring representatives from the 61 barangays of Bacolod City, where local dishes are prepared, shared, and celebrated as living traditions for the community. Complementing this, we have organized street food booths offering a diverse range of delicacies from our regional dishes across the archipelago, including contributions from as far as the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. Through these initiatives, tourism becomes a bridge between regions, between peoples, producers, and consumers, between local knowledge and global appreciation. And so I speak to all of our international delegates that have come here to join us in the Philippines. Thank you. Thank you for engaging in this journey of discovery and the wonders of our country. Bacolod City and Negros Occidental are more than scenic destinations, for they are vibrant hubs of agriculture and marine resources. By showcasing these through tourism, we provide local community markets with income, recognition, while reinforcing our country's identity as a destination where culture, nature, and gastronomy come together. At the Department of Tourism, We see gastronomy not just as a luxury or a trend, but as a pathway to inclusive growth. Through our training programs, regional culinary initiatives, and platforms like the Philippine Gastronomy Tourism Roadmap, as well as the Philippine Experience Program, we are equipping our culinary workforce, elevating regional food identities, and ensuring that local knowledge, traditions, and innovations remain at the heart of national development. Most importantly, we are investing in our people by providing a global spotlight on their sacrifice, their hard work, and their exceptional culinary talent. May I invite everyone to give a resounding round of applause to all of our chefs, our cooks, our Filipino artisans who make our country very, very proud. Every visitor we welcome and every dish that we share, as well as every partnership that we foster, strengthens local livelihoods and supports resilient communities. As it is, tourism supports nearly 7 million jobs and contributes nearly 9% to our economy. Tourists that come to the Philippines spend nearly 20% on food. Imagine how much more we can gain for our country by supporting gastronomy tourism. As Terra Madre Asia Pacific unfolds, let us all remember that food forms the bond between people, a bridge across our nations, and a platform for shared action. The conversations and collaborations that you engage in here will ripple far beyond Bacolod and Negros, inspiring sustainable practices, inclusive opportunities, and renewed respect for the communities who feed our world. In behalf of the Department of Tourism and in behalf of our President, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., I thank all of you for your participation, your passion, and your commitment to a food future that is regenerative, equitable, and resilient. May your time here be rich in learning, meaningful exchanges, and experiences that celebrate the extraordinary spirit of the people of Bacolod and Negros Occidental and the unforgettable beauty and warmth of the Philippines. Madamo gid nga salamat, daghang salamat, ug mabuhay.
Madamo gid salamat.
nandun.